Hey there, so today we have another review, and we do this every year. This is Bourbon County, Goose Island Bourbon County 2018. So if you want to skip to the review, please skip ahead. Anyway, talking about the beer, this 2018 vintage. I was lucky for the last couple of years for Goose Island to send an awesome box with the variants and the base beer, but not so lucky this year, but it is what it is. Thank you, Goose Island, for the couple of years for sending it. Really appreciate it. But had to go out and buy this one. This was actually purchased at Top Hops in the city. Shout out, I think it was Eric and John. Anyway, if you guys are listening, thank you for being viewers, and appreciate you guys saying hi. So yeah, really fun hanging out with people when I get to see them in public. But this was purchased there. I will say it was a little pricey. This was something like $17, whereas I think general retail is going for something like $13, and the price has just gotten higher. I remember the beer being around $10, $11, $12. Now it's generally around $13, and this one was quite pricey. So let's dig into this one. So beer comes in a pitch black color as usual. Wonderful carbonation on there. Beautiful medium to deep brown head. Let's get the aroma on this one. Yeah, that's Bourbon County. This one for me it's got that general big, just thick, intense Bourbon County nose. This one for me is a little bit woody. It has a good amount of dark fruit to it, almost like goji berry, and yeah. Light berry notes, some cherry driving in there, rich amounts of dark chocolate, coffee, bourbon, vanilla. Nice and sweet as well. But yeah, on the nose, it's deep in. You take a big waft on your nose. It smells like Bourbon County, but yeah, it has a little bit more, generally I would consider a woody note, and a little bit of like confectionery, kind of like brown sugar, kind of like, what do we call it? Sort of like a toffee kind of note to it. Cheers. That's Bourbon County. Yeah, for sure. So, I will say I had a little bit of this earlier on, and the general note this year is that this beer is caramely. Just like the nose, this beer is a touch sweeter. It's less roasty, less rich, decadent chocolate cake. Not that this beer doesn't do that. It has that kind of desserty note to it. It is still very much Bourbon County as I'm speaking, getting marshmallow, charred marshmallow, vanilla notes coming through, deep, rich chocolate notes, a little bit of roasted coffee grounds on the back end, nice bourbon notes, more of that woody char, but there is in the middle and moving on this kind of rich toffee, Werther's caramel candy, caramelly sweetness. Dark fruits a little bit up front, a little bit of dry cherry. Again, a little bit of goji berry, kind of like a dry fruit character. But yeah, generally it's, so this beer also surprisingly tastes a little younger. It doesn't have much booze character to it. It's not as stickingly sweet. It seems more attenuated as well. So despite the sweetness, it has a rich caramelly sweetness in the middle that drives all the way. But it doesn't seem as sticky. And I mean, generally when you drink this beer, it literally feels like a black film of Bourbon County has enveloped your entire palate and insides. This has a little less of that. So for me, this is a little bit more decadent of a Bourbon County vintage, and a little bit more quote unquote drinkable of Bourbon County vintage, even though the ranges of ABV swing. I believe some of the lower end were 13.7. This year we're getting to 15.2. So we're almost a 1.5 ABV higher than some other vintages, or maybe it's almost 1 ABV higher than some vintages. So this is a higher ABV product, but it's still the same beer, but again, a little less cloying on the back end, and just a little bit more caramelly on the character, and a little bit more of that brown sugar quality. I will say I didn't do a review of it, but if you get your hands on some Bourbon County Reserve, which is 12-year barrel-proof Elijah Craig barrels, that beer is absolutely fantastic. It's not noticeably different. Again, it's still Bourbon County that has sat in bourbon casks. I mean, how different can the beer be? That one is a little bit more spirit-driven, a little less balanced, and just a little bit more sharp, and also sat in barrels for a little bit longer, from what I understand. So a little bit more complex of barrel character, but again, not much of a different beer. Again, if you want to really say how close you are to the beer, it's probably like you're probably 80-90% pretty much Bourbon County. Like literally what I'm drinking now, it's really not that big of a difference. So I wouldn't go crazy trying to seek it out. If you find it on draft, obviously try to get some, but you don't really have to go crazy trying to seek out the bottles. But absolutely fantastic. As usual, this is one of my favorite beers of all time. In general, on aspect of, in perspective of all the beers out there and all the Bourbon counties out there, just specifically Bourbon counties out there, how does this compare? I like this here. It's a little bit more pastry stout like. It's a little bit more decadent and really doesn't taste like something that would age as well, because some of these vintages ride on a lot of barrel character and seem like they would grow in complexity. This is a little bit more single noted, in my opinion, and maybe that's just perception of how much Bourbon County I've had this year, and it's, it is what it is. So how can I tell you really how different this beer is compared to different vintages without comparing it side to side? That is what my impression is right now. Still amazing beer. It's one of my favorites of all time. 99 out of 100. 99 out of 100. Until next time, guys. Cheers. Post in comments below about your stories about getting Bourbon County. Please share with me. Until next time, guys. Cheers. Later.